taking this one apart first, because if this one gets messed up, you know, whoop-de-damn do, I really go into a part out before we even touch that baby. So let's go. All right, so as you see, boop, got some more parts that are moving from the car that I just bought. These are extra parts that came with it, so I'm going up here on the meat. So far, almost all of these spare parts are almost sold, so then I'm just dealing with the car situation. So sell these parts first, then hit the parts store, Home Depot, to try to pick up these tools for this JDM swap. I'm at Harbor Freight. Now I'm trying 2 spots today. I was gonna go to Home Depot for the angle grinder, but I don't think they're gonna have Clecos. So there are 2 spots that I believe will have Clecos: Harbor Freight or Summit Racing. I looked up on Summit Racing and they have the angle grinders, a few different types, corded, and they have the Cleco set for sure. Harbor Freight did not have Clecos online, but their online store is not that great when keeping up to date. So let's see if they have it. No, they did not have everything. So we're headed to Summit Racing. They have everything. They have the grinder. And even though Harbor Freight is usually cheaper, they have a grinder for like $44. Summit has a Porter cable, which is a very well household name at economical prices and has been known to have quality, at $46. Plus they have the Cleco set, among other things. So just gonna go to Summit. So that only makes 2 stops today, because in the last video we did 4 steps. We went to O'Reilly's, went to AutoZone, went to Summit, and I ordered off Amazon. So hopefully we don't have to do that today. Just 2 stops. And now we're gonna go into Summit Racing, and hopefully they do have everything as they said online. You know, people are ordering a lot of shit online, so you don't know if the shit's gonna be ordered and then gone by the time you get there. So let's see if they have what we need. And yes, they had everything we needed. Everything and more. So we got Clecos, we got angle grinder, we got step-up drill bits. We also have, oh, tire applicator. I needed that. My other one spilled last night. I had to throw the shit away. All right, we're back. We got the tools, but we don't really need those tools right now. Right now, we have to focus on getting the parts. Let's put it a little further up. Nah, fuck that. Yeah. Right now, we got to focus on getting these parts off of here. So one of my main concerns is everything in here for this Type R ITR front conversion there. The brace for the bumper, the brackets for that, and how did they actually put it in? And is it gonna be salvageable for me when I try to remove it? Am I gonna get everything I need in order to make this shit happen? That's the big question. So right now I'm about to go through, I really don't know how this one comes off, but I'm thinking since everybody puts the bumper on last, I'm gonna go ahead and try to get the bumper off, see if it'll slide off. I don't know if it's attached in here like that or if it just sits on that brace, but that's the first move. So forget the talking, let's get started. Already running into some bullshit. They had these holding this piece, and I know these don't go here. But good thing is they didn't wallow these out, so I should be able to get the clips, hopefully. And they had these holding in the center part of the bumper. We know those don't go there. So already run into that. So let's keep going and see what else we run into. At least this is a plus. This is intact. None of these are not cracked on this side. These are not cracked or wallowed. These are also not cracked. This one's partially cracked, but they held in. And as far as I can see, everything on this side is good. That bolt is broke off, so I mean it's not a big deal, but it's something we can tend to. You know, we have some minor damages that you would expect in this type of situation, but consider something on these, but I'll wait for that. Now it is time to get the fenders off. So we're gonna take the fenders off, and then at least I'm glad that this is here. I was concerned that this brace, support brace, would not be there, but it's there. So I'm happy about that. Now it's time to see what's up with this situation. And it looks like, oh, awesome. It looks like the zip tie situation. No, wait a minute. Yep. The zip tie situation is actually just there to hold the hood and the transmission cooler in. So the entire center section of this is here. And I was concerned that they had did like some double shit, but it is welded. I'm gonna have to see how to break those welds without really messing up the support. So far, not a real bad situation yet. I don't want to get too excited. Let's get into the rest of this and see what we got. This is not the biggest win, but it win. I thought that this was, the actual fender was cracked, but it's actually, looks like it's probably thick ass paint and it can be sanded down and not cracked, because I don't see a crack on this side of the fender. So that's a big plus for me right now. What I'm gonna do is the pigtail for the side markers. I'm gonna go ahead and just, since somebody might use JDM size, maybe they'll use OEM. If they're using USDM, they won't need the side markers. So I'm gonna be fair, split it down the middle, cut right here, and take from here out because I need it for there just in case. And if so, I can wire in something else and heat shrink it. Now I'm about to do the other side just like I did this side, so there's no need to go through that. And then we'll get ready to get these headlights off. And you see they use these crimps. So more than likely on some spare time, I'm gonna take these out, actually solder these, and then heat shrink, environmentally safe them. And then that'll be a lot better than this, because sometimes what happens is these let corrosion in or water in, and then it gets corroded, then you have a bad connection. So I'm gonna go ahead and fix that up. Removing the headlamp, 2 bolts right here. I checked on this bottom side. There's supposed to be like an L bracket that holds this on. So I'm not sure if like some Integras have it, some generations have it, some generations don't. But I will inspect further when I get this off, and if there are mounting points for this light on the bottom side, I'm just gonna make me some brackets when I put them on the Teggy. Put these off. See what's what. I've snipped anything that I think I know that I will need. So car power right here, left this attached. This is missing something, so I mean it's probably in there, but at least I know it goes where it will go when I go to that. And then this for the side markers, marked that and left everything else attached. So I should be pretty good. At the end of the day, wiring is wiring. You should be able to run what you need, but it's good to have as much as you can to cut down the guesswork. So the passenger light is out. Now I'm gonna take out the driver's side light. There's really not a lot to this. These 2 bolts. And then on this bottom side, I do notice that right here, there is a mounting point. So more than likely I will wind up making some brackets. I see that there may have been some in there and they got broken. So I'll just end up making my own out of some L bracket aluminum or something like that. No big deal. I'm gonna go ahead and take the hood latch cable off. Very carefully remove these plastic clips so I can reuse them. And then there's a bung right here. So I'm gonna very carefully try to remove that bung without breaking it. Let's get this bung out of here. Snake the rest of this through, being sure not to break these clips. So I'll tell you what, let's see if these clips will come off up here. Pull this through. See right here, this is where the mounts went for the JDM lights, but these probably were not correct. If they were, they just broke them, and I don't know why they did that. But I'm pretty sure that this is just a top key job with these right here, and you can see they already cut this, but they didn't really cut it, they bent it up. I'm just gonna cut mine nicely. They peeled this back. That's not the way you really want to do that. Time to take this portion off. Usually these are supposed to be 12s. I got a 12 on here with the impact. So I'm hoping to get these off and bap and be done with that. But if not, seeing that they've used multiple different size bolts where there were supposed to be no bolts, I can't really rely on that. So hopefully we get lucky. Right here, and put it in. Grab this in the middle, and off we go. this piece out. Now I'll take it inside, put the bolts with it, keep this together. Now it pretty much looks like what's going on here is when we take off that support for the USDM version, we'll just use one of those holes to attach this for the headlight brace, and that should be good. So now we're going to get to disconnecting the zip ties they have holding the trans cooler, I believe that is, and remove some of this other stuff. Take the radiator hole tie downs up and then go ahead and get this off. And after that, part one is done. We've disassembled the JDM clip off a USDM spec car. Then it will be time to hopefully see if I'm going to part this completely out, or somebody is going to buy the car as a whole without this front stuff on there, which it could be a pretty good track car. Integras are good track cars. Then part two is time to convert, take the USDM spec front end off mine and convert that one to JDM. That's another ball game. Now I'm going to show you some things at the end that they did here that was pretty raunchy. Right now what I'm about to do is clean these welds up so I can hopefully see where they are really attached and where I can kind of come out from when I bring the grinder in to break these welds up, both passenger and driver side. And then down here they got some gnarly type stuff going on, so I'm going to try to, I honestly do see now that they did leave a bit of the USDM midsection down here behind the JDM one. So I'm going to do my best to get this off correctly, and then when we reattach it on my car, do it the right way. So we'll just go from there. And I think that's going to be the hardest section to kind of ziz wheel out and not jack up. Not that great of a job welding, but I probably couldn't have done any better because I'm not a welder. So I'll just go ahead and clean that one up and that one up. Cover it up, the base some. I don't want to get a bunch of shavings everywhere in the motor. Got this side off. Minimal damage to this part of the core T. Not enough material here for anybody, plus that hole to put the USDM cross member back on, or core support back on. So now we got this side. Time to hit this middle right there, and part one will be finished. So let me get to that, then we'll finish up this video. The spot welds in and welded around it, so I was able to drill these out, and if I want to I can separate that later. As you see, it's falling off. Got a clamp on this side, and voila, there's my JDM core support. Now you can see right here where they still had that, and they basically just welded into it. So honestly, I might not do much with that. I might leave it like it is and place it, because it pretty much spots where it's gonna go in the car. Paint it up real good. Got that. It's done. So there we go. Got this one apart. I'm gonna clean some of these things up for the next person that's gonna take over the vehicle, especially if they want the whole car. That way, you know, they don't have to do everything. I'm gonna go ahead and clean some stuff up. Other than that, it's time to take these back. Now let me show you some raunchy stuff that they did do besides that. That's not the most raunchiest, okay? You see in here, they didn't cut this correctly. They just peeled it up and peeled this back. That is horrible, but I'm gonna leave it, because if the next person that wants to fold it back and weld it, they can, especially if they're gonna use it for a track car. I mean, nobody's really gonna give a shit about most of this, but I'm gonna bend this back in place and clean that up. If you look over here, they did the same thing, bent this back, cut that off. Really not that great of a job. We're gonna try to do a better job than that, especially on that car when everything's going in. Cutting those sections out, putting other sections in. I'm gonna go through and make sure I clean these up, especially this side. Clean this up with the grinder, round that out, but everything else is good on it. And that's it. You're like, yo, part one of the JDM conversion is done. Part one of the headlight restoration is done. Now it's time for part two for both, and that's pulling the headlamps apart, restoring the insides. That'll probably be the next video. And then part two, taking this one apart, getting all the stuff off. Then we'll finalize it with part three of installing the JDM front. Then it's off to paint. And I got something secret coming in. I'm not going to tell you about it yet. We're going to be doing a whole nother, we're going to take it up another level. So like I always say, just build it, be safe, peace.